known that in many times I talk about my relationship and how I got here with my relationship with Ford. Nobody, since I've been to 25 years, I've been a Ford dealer, has been anything like this man I'm about to introduce to you.
Talk to him.
Okay? So this gentleman, and you're going to hear my speech out there short, but Alan Mulally, if you read his resume, he's one of the most influential people in the world, not just the United States, in the world. But more importantly, he came to Wade Ford. And he came to Wade Ford because of what every one of you do every single day, to put our store on the map, and to put our store in a position that they would respect the way we perform in all aspects of our store. This day, Alan, is made up of these people. I may be the one to give the speech, but I'm representing them all. I got here and got you to come here based on the work that these people have done. This team, you'll look around this room, some of us have gray hair. I colored mine this morning. But some of us, there's people who have been in this room and been with Wade Ford for 25, 30, and there's some employees that are on their way to that. This is a family, Alan, and I truly, truly am grateful that you took the time to care enough about me and care enough about my employees with everything you have going, running this global company, and I truly, truly love you for coming here, and thank you so much. So let's give him a round of applause.
Well, thanks a lot, Steve. One of the first dealers I met almost 7 years ago was Steve. And the look in his eyes was stark terror.
Tell him why, Alan. Tell him why.
And he had a reason to be really scared because when, as you know,
I
had a chance to serve at Boeing for 37 years. I had a chance to help design every Boeing airplane. And when you look at all the seats that are flying worldwide, 85% of all the seats flying are in Boeing airplanes. And so I didn't think I was ever leave Boeing, and I got a call from Bill Ford, the Ford Motor Company, and he explained to me what the situation was, and it was pretty dire. And I felt like at the end, the reason I left Boeing to come here was I really felt like I was being asked to serve the second American Boeing lifetime. The story is so big, and just like Boeing is so big. So I arrived in September 2006, and the first forecast that I saw for the profitability of the corporation for all of 2006 was a $17 billion loss. And we achieved it. And we had like, I think maybe 28 billion in the bank. But we were within 1 year of being bankrupt. And we had to move aggressively, and we had to get Ford back on track, and we had to focus on Ford. We sold Aston Martin, and Jaguar, and Land Rover, and Volvo, and Mazda, and we started focusing on Ford. And when I first saw Steve, it was so inspirational because I couldn't share this all with him, what we were going to do yet. And so he explained to me the whole plan. He said, we don't care about all this other stuff, and here's what you got to do. It was like an obscene phone call I was getting. I said, I got it. But no, I don't think you got it yet. And he got right in my face and started explaining to him. And I was so happy. I think I called him on the phone before we could announce this to all the analysts in the street. And I said, so Steve, I laid out and I said, what do you think? He said, not bad for a start. So Steve has been really a part of the plan from day one. I just love him. And a couple of things that just about Wade Ford that just blow me away is that when Steve had a chance to buy into Wade Ford, a really big decision he made was not to change the name. And he's been very successful. He's had a number of dealerships. He's done really well. He was a leader of a whole development program that we had in the United States for Ford as a Ford employee. I mean, really a fantastic person. And he had a chance to be involved with Wade. And his first big decision was to keep the Wade name. And most owners don't do that. They'll put their own name up there or something else. And then the next thing that really got him, I'm sure you all know this, but that I love about Steve is that his focus on the consumer. And his expression that you can always repair or replace a broken car, but you can never repair or replace a customer because that's all we had, customer. So all of his support before, he's always stood tall, because everything we're doing is the right thing for the consumer and the customer. So if we do that, everything's going to be okay. But the neatest thing about you, with respect to Steve, is that you changed his life on what he thought a company should be like. Because he met all of these employees that had 15, 20, 25-year careers. They weren't jobs at Wade Ford. They were careers. And it changed his life. And he decided that that's the way he was going to run Wade Ford going forward. So to get a chance to meet all of you is absolutely fantastic. And you are. I just told the news, this is their worst nightmare. If I'm out on the road, news media all want to ask me about GM. And so I said, do you want a quote? Oh, yeah. So I gave him a quote, and I said, Wade Ford is the all-time proof point of everything about the Ford Motor Company transformation, because you are implementing Henry Ford's original vision of providing not only great cars and great trucks, but also providing great jobs and great careers to a lot of talented people. So it's really neat to be here.
Alan,
Congratulations.
tell the story how you said scary. They have to know what happened. So Alan invites me, the coolest invitation I ever got in my whole life. I get a box in my office, and I open up the UPS box, and it's a small piece of luggage, and there's a note that says, hey Steve, you are one of a select group of dealers that I want to join me for a few days to talk about the business and hit some golf balls. Now you know, I don't hit a golf ball, but I was going. But he said, we're traveling light, and this is the only size piece of luggage you can use on our trip. Because they had private jets. So I get invited, I'm with 15, 20 guys, an exclusive group, and I'm going to tell this story inside, but this a real part of that story. But this part of the story is, we were flying from North Carolina to Detroit to go watch the big PGA event. And there was thunderstorms all over Detroit. And matter of fact, the thunderstorms were so bad in North Carolina that we just sat there. And I was glad we sat there, hail and everything. So we take off, we get over Detroit, and this plane is, and guys are having drinks in the plane, but the plane is, and I'm buckled in as tight as I can. And this plane is jumping up and down, and I'm in my seat. Guys are joking, look at Steve. The plane lands, we're getting our luggage off, thank God, I kissed the ground. The plane lands, and Alan walks over to me. He says, hey, they heard you were scared over there. And I'll never forget that he said that. But what he said was, he said, Steve, look at that plane. He said, that plane's a Boeing airplane. And he said, listen, I'm not saying that something can't go wrong in an airplane. He said, but it won't because the wings fall off on the arm. I'll never forget him saying that. And I remember that story so vividly because I was scared, truly scared. And guys were trying to play it off drinking. I wasn't drinking nothing. This was a tough life. So Alan, at that moment, Alan was that kind of guy with all of us. And it didn't matter. He made every dealer on that trip feel like we had a personal relation with him. And kind of because of that is why I felt like I had the guts to ask him to come here for all of us today. And that's why it's such a big deal, because he can't do this for every dealer in the United States. And he pick and chooses what he can do running this company. But he was able to fit this in his calendar and schedule, and we're grateful for you to be here. It's a historic day. Very carefully, those who want to shake Alan's hand, say hi if you don't mind, Alan, let them just say hello to you, and we'll keep it moving.
Fantastic. Very good. Congratulations.